Welcome back to US Stock Express. It's December 5th, 2025, and we've got a packed market rundown for you today. So what's on the docket? The Federal Reserve looks ready to make a major shift. What does that mean for your money? We're seeing discount retailers absolutely thriving, but can high flyers in beauty and travel keep up the momentum? And when a stock like Paramount Skydance takes a serious hit, where should investors be looking for safety? All that and more coming up right now. Let's kick things off with the big picture. The major indices had a mostly positive session. The S&P 500 edged up 0.23%, while the tech-heavy Nasdaq 100 posted a stronger gain of 0.41%. The Dow Jones Industrial Average also climbed a steady 0.34%. The one laggard was the Russell 2000, which dipped 0.52%, suggesting small caps weren't joining the party today. The catalyst for a lot of today's optimism? A key inflation report. Now, this data is from September, so it's a bit old, but it showed prices rising at a manageable pace. That's giving the Federal Reserve the perfect cover story to finally start cutting interest rates when they meet next week. Essentially, the economy looks to be cooling just enough for them to act, and we didn't have to wait long for confirmation. In a major speech, Fed Chair Jerome Powell himself signaled the central bank's pivot toward lower rates. So, after that green light from the data, the driver is now clearly indicating a turn is coming. Now let's talk stocks, starting with a big one on watch, Lululemon. While the broader market rallies on those rate cut hopes, Lulu is walking a tightrope ahead of its critical earnings report next week. The athletic apparel giant is facing low expectations, with profits likely declining thanks to stiff competition and tariff pressures. The big question for investors is whether the stock's brutal 50% drop this year has already priced in all the bad news, setting us up for a potentially wild swing. Shifting gears to another tech giant with earnings on the horizon, Broadcom, AVGO surged more than 2% today, riding a wave of bullish analyst notes and optimism around its powerhouse AI and custom chip business. It's outperforming its peers as investors get positioned for its own quarterly report. Now for a clear winner, ULTA Beauty. The company just painted a very pretty picture for shareholders. The stock skyrocketed over 14% to a record high after a strong earnings beat and raised guidance. This proves that even when budgets are tight, consumers are still willing to splurge on a little bit of glamour. On the flip side, we have Paramount Skydance, which is having a much rougher day. PSKY plunged over 9% after losing a high-stakes bidding war to Netflix for key Warner Bros. Discovery assets. Despite reportedly putting a higher all-cash bid on the table, they were outmaneuvered, leaving investors worried about the company's next move. Speaking of volatile moves, let's check in on Moderna. mRNA had a roller coaster week. It took a 7% dive earlier on news of potential stricter FDA vaccine rules. But then it showed serious resilience, rocketing back up 8.3% as traders spotted a bullish technical reversal. Talk about a sentiment shift that moves faster than the virus itself. In times of uncertainty, investors often flock to value. Case in point, Dollar General. DG's stock surged after the discount retailer posted a strong earnings beat and raised its forecast. This shows that cash-strapped consumers from all income brackets are heading to its stores, making it a real port in the economic storm. And Dollar General isn't alone. Its rival, Dollar Tree, is also cashing in on the exact same trend. DLTR soared to a new 52-week high after its own strong earnings report and guidance hike, fueled by an influx of higher-income shoppers looking to stretch their budgets. Now over to Adobe. ADBE shares jumped 5.7% today as investors start positioning themselves ahead of the company's upcoming earnings. The big thing everyone wants to see is whether Adobe's massive bets on AI across its creative and experience cloud platforms are paying off enough to meet tough targets and stand out from the competition. Finally, let's look at a stock that got some tailwinds today, Southwest Airlines. UV climbed 5.6%, as the entire airline sector benefits from a record-breaking Thanksgiving travel period. That's helping offset some recent concerns. Plus, Southwest gave itself an extra boost by announcing a new transatlantic partnership, expanding its international reach. That wraps up today's US Stock Express. Thank you for watching. Remember to stay informed and make those smart, thoughtful investment decisions. We'll see you next time.